Hi, my name is Felicity and today I'm going to be showing you how you can use the setTimeout method in JavaScript and a few little quirks along the way. So we don't have long, let's open our browsers and get stuck in. So you're probably aware that JavaScript executes in order. So this example here, we would console log first, second and third. No surprise, let's just run it and check to see that's the case, first, second and third. So what happens if you wanted to execute this piece of code here out of order? Well, you use a method called setTimeout. And setTimeout takes the function, apologies, and two values, the function and the amount of time that you want to delay, which is expressed in milliseconds. So here we've got 6,000 milliseconds, so that's 6 seconds. So what I'm going to do is place this second console log inside the function. And before we run that, let's see what we think is going to happen. Well, first of all, console log first is going to operate. It's going to come into this setTimeout and it's going to execute this, but it's going to execute it with a 6 second delay. So it's going to execute this function, but it will be processing or delaying it rather, and then it will log the third function. So what will happen in terms of what we see here is that we will get first, third, and second. So it will read through the code in order, but because of this delay, this console log will happen after the first two. So let's just sanity check that and see what happens. First, third, and second. It appears that when you're waiting for it, 6 seconds is an awfully long time. So let's think about that. If you were trying to have this piece of code execute after the first two, but you didn't want an awkwardly long pause and you weren't sure how much time to allow for these other pieces of code to execute, well, what would you do? Well, what you need to do is you set 0 on this. So what 0 does is it takes this piece of code out of the operating order, but instead of specifying a time, it will just do it after these two pieces of code have finished. So let's run this again and see what happens. Again, we get first, third, second, but we don't get that delay. Now, 0 is actually the default for this function. So if we remove the 0, and in fact if we remove the comma and we run again, let's see what happens. Okay, we get the same thing. First, third, second. The second is executed after the first and the third. It's very confusing. So if you want to execute a piece of code sort of out of order, you can use setTimeout with 0, or indeed setTimeout with the default value and just passing in the function. I hope that clears it up for you as it did for me. Thank you for listening.